Mom's 60th birthday party was everything she'd demanded. Catered dinner for 80 guests at the country club, live jazz band, ice sculpture, premium open bar. Cost $85,000. Paid by me naturally, though she'd tell everyone she planned it herself. My name is Alex Chin and I'm 29 years old. For the past 7 years, my family believed I worked as a data analyst, nothing exciting. They had no idea I'd founded Cipher Analytics, a predictive AI company with contracts from tech giants, hedge funds, and government agencies. Annual revenue, $420 million. My personal net worth, $740 million. And the designer suit I wore tonight? Custom Brioni. Cost more than my parents thought I made in 6 months. Alex. Mom pulled me aside between dinner courses, champagne in hand. We need to discuss something important. The bills are piling up. Your father's country club dues, my salon appointments, your brother's apartment lease. We need you to keep paying. Keep paying, I repeated. Well, yes. You've been handling our expenses for years. We're counting on you. She squeezed my arm. Your money is our money, sweetheart. That's how family works. My brother Nathan appeared, grinning. At 32, he'd never held a job longer than 8 months but somehow lived in a luxury penthouse downtown. Speaking of money, I need new furniture. About $40,000 should cover it. Can you transfer that by Monday? They didn't ask. They commanded. Because in their minds I existed to fund their lifestyle. What they didn't know was that sitting in a private room at this very country club, my wealth management team from Sterling Private Bank was reviewing evidence that would end this charade tonight. How much do you pay monthly? A voice asked. My Aunt Linda had been listening. For their bills. About $15,000, I said quietly. For 7 years. Aunt Linda's eyes widened, but Mom laughed. It's nothing for Alex. He's single, no responsibilities. He can afford it. Can he? Uncle Robert joined us. Alex, what do you actually do? Data analysis seems vague. Before I could answer, Nathan cut in. He works with computers. Makes decent money. Enough to help family, which is what matters. Decent money, I said. Right. Mom's best friend Karen leaned in, curious now. I've always wondered, Alex, how much do you make? If you're supporting your whole family. Your money is our money, Mom repeated firmly. We don't discuss specifics. Alex understands his obligations. I checked my watch. 8:47 p.m. In 3 minutes my obligations would become very clear. Actually, I said, pulling out my phone, let's discuss specifics. I'd like everyone to understand exactly what's been happening. I sent a text. We're ready. What are you doing? Mom's smile faltered. Providing clarity, I replied. The country club's main doors opened. 5 people entered. Victoria Sterling, CEO of Sterling Private Bank. Robert Hayes, Federal Bank Fraud Investigator. FBI Special Agent Morrison. My attorney David Kim and forensic accountant Lisa Park. The jazz band stopped playing. 80 guests turned to stare. Good evening, Victoria announced, her voice carrying across the suddenly silent ballroom. I'm Victoria Sterling, CEO of Sterling Private Bank. We're here to discuss urgent financial matters concerning the Chin family. Mom's champagne flute trembled in her hand. Dad stood up from the head table, face reddening. Nathan's grin evaporated. Victoria pulled out a tablet, connecting it wirelessly to the venue's projection screens, meant for displaying birthday photos. Financial documents appeared instead. Let's establish some facts, Victoria began. Alex Chin is not a data analyst. He's the founder and CEO of Cipher Analytics, a predictive AI company revolutionizing data science across multiple industries. His company serves 73 Fortune 500 clients. Annual revenue, $420 million. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Mom grabbed the table for support. Alex's personal compensation last year was $94 million. His current net worth is $740 million. He ranks among the top 50 wealthiest tech entrepreneurs under 35. That's impossible, Nathan breathed. Alex works from a laptop in coffee shops. Alex works from wherever he chooses because he owns the company, Victoria continued. Now let's discuss where some of that wealth went. Lisa Park stepped forward, pulling up bank statements. Over 7 years, Alex has transferred $1.26 million to his parents for bills and expenses. Additionally, he's transferred $840,000 to his brother Nathan for various emergencies and investments. She pulled up more documents. But that's not the concerning part. The concerning part is the additional $4.7 million in fraudulent debt accumulated in Alex's name without his authorization. The ballroom erupted in whispers. Phones appeared, recording. Robert Hayes opened his briefcase. I'm a federal bank fraud investigator. 19 months ago, we were alerted to suspicious credit activity on Alex Chen's accounts. What we discovered was systematic fraud spanning 6 years. He projected security footage. Mom at a Neiman Marcus signing a credit card receipt. Dad at a Mercedes dealership signing loan documents. Nathan at a Rolex boutique making a purchase. 29 credit accounts opened in Alex's name without authorization, Robert continued. Total fraudulent charges, $4.7 million. Every account application bears forged signatures. We have handwriting analysis confirming forgery. We have electronic records showing applications originated from Chin family devices. Agent Morrison stepped forward. This isn't a family disagreement. This is federal crime. Identity theft. Credit fraud. Wire fraud. Conspiracy to commit fraud. These charges carry sentences of up to 30 years in federal prison. We didn't, Dad started. You did, David Kim interrupted, my attorney's voice cutting through the room. We have evidence of 47 forged signatures. Security footage from 19 stores and banks. Text messages between family members discussing using Alex's credit without his knowledge. He pulled up text messages on the screen. Mom to Nathan, use Alex's Amex for the furniture. He won't notice. Dad to Mom, applied for the Mercedes loan with Alex's info. Should be approved by Friday. Nathan to Mom, need Alex's SSN for the apartment cosign. Can you send it? 80 guests watched in horror as 6 years of calculated fraud played out on screen. Tonight, Lisa said, was supposed to be another example. This birthday party, $85000, was charged to a credit card Mrs. Chin opened in Alex's name 3 weeks ago. Without his knowledge or consent. Mom made a choking sound. The guests nearest her backed away. But it gets worse, Victoria added. 2 days ago, Mrs. Chin attempted to refinance the family home using Alex's credit and income documentation. Forged signature on a $600,000 mortgage application. That's when we contacted federal authorities. Agent Morrison pulled out handcuffs. Margaret Chin, Stephen Chin, Nathan Chin. You're under arrest for conspiracy to commit bank fraud, identity theft, wire fraud, and forgery. No. Mom screamed. Alex, tell them. Tell them you gave us permission. I didn't, I said calmly. I gave you $1.26 million willingly over 7 years. Money you took while telling everyone I was barely scraping by. Money you claimed was for necessities while you bought luxury cars and designer clothes. And when I finally started questioning the expenses, you didn't stop spending. You just started stealing. We're your parents. Dad shouted as Agent Morrison cuffed him. You owe us everything. We raised you. You committed federal crimes, I replied. You stole $4.7 million. You forged my signature 47 times. You put my entire company at risk because when your fraudulent accounts defaulted, creditors came after my business assets. Nathan was cuffed next, his face ashen. I didn't know it was fraud. I thought you were helping. I told you no, I said. When you asked for $40,000 for furniture 2 months ago, I said no. So Mom opened another card in my name instead. You knew exactly what you were doing. As they read Miranda rights, Aunt Linda found her voice. Alex, we had no idea about your success or what they were doing. Most people didn't, I said. I built my company quietly, avoided attention, lived modestly despite my wealth. I wanted to succeed on merit, not flash money around. But they saw my success and decided it belonged to them. Victoria pulled up one final document. For the guests wondering about severity, the mortgage fraud Mrs. Chin attempted 2 days ago could have triggered federal audits of Alex's company. If regulators discovered his name on a fraudulent mortgage application, It could have destroyed his business's credibility and cost his clients billions in damages. I didn't know that would happen. Mom sobbed as they led her toward the exit. You didn't care, I said quietly. You never asked what I did. Never asked how my business worked. You just assumed my money was yours and took whatever you wanted. Karen, Mom's best friend, stepped forward. Helen told us you were supporting them out of gratitude. That you owed them for your upbringing. She said you made good money but needed family guidance on how to manage it. She lied, I said simply. I've been managing hundreds of millions in corporate assets. I didn't need guidance. I needed boundaries. And when I tried to set them, they committed crimes to get around them. As my family was led out in handcuffs, past 80 witnesses recording on their phones, Uncle Robert approached. What happens now? David Kim answered. Criminal prosecution. Asset seizures. Everything purchased with fraudulent credit gets liquidated. The house, the cars, jewelry, furniture. All of it. Restitution requirements. Prison time. Mrs. Chin is looking at 18 years federal. Mr. Chin 15. Nathan 12. They'll lose everything, Aunt Linda whispered. They already lost everything, I said. Their integrity. Their family relationships. Their freedom. The material things are just consequences catching up to choices they made 6 years ago. Victoria closed her tablet. Alex, we've frozen all fraudulent accounts. Your credit report is being cleared as we speak. Your actual score is 843. All business assets are protected. The trap account, the one used for tonight's party, served its purpose. Trap account? Uncle Robert asked. I suspected fraud 6 months ago, I explained. So I left one accessible account and monitored it 24/7. Every charge generated alerts. When Mom used it for tonight's party and the mortgage application, it proved ongoing criminal intent. Made the case airtight. The country club manager approached nervously. Mr. Chin, about the party bill. The card used was fraudulent, David said. The charge will be reversed. Sterling Private Bank will cover tonight's costs as part of their investigation cooperation. No one here is liable except the 3 people we just arrested. After the authorities left with my family, I stood in the emptying ballroom. Guests whispered, stared, recorded. My family's social circle disintegrating in real time. Aunt Linda touched my shoulder. I'm sorry. For what they did. And for not seeing it. You believed what they told you, I said. That's what made them effective. They mixed truth with lies. I did give them money willingly at first. That made the fraud harder to spot until it was massive. What will you do now? She asked. Rebuild, I said. Without the people who saw my success as their entitlement. The aftermath was swift and brutal. My parents and Nathan pleaded guilty within 3 weeks. The evidence was overwhelming. Mom got 20 years federal prison. Dad got 17. Nathan got 14. The house sold at auction. Proceeds went to restitution. The Mercedes, Nathan's penthouse lease, Mom's jewelry collection. All liquidated. Total recovered, $2.1 million. They'd spent the other $2.6 million on lifestyle and living beyond their means. The birthday party video went viral. Tech billionaire's family arrested at their own party for stealing $4.7 million. Every business publication covered it. Forbes did a feature. The Invisible Billionaire. How Alex Chin built an AI empire while his family committed fraud. I moved Cypher Analytics headquarters to Singapore, expanded into European markets, and launched a foundation providing legal aid for financial fraud victims. First week, 800 applications. Stories that mirrored mine. Adult children drained by parents who felt entitled to their success. Siblings exploited. Spouses robbed. Your story gave me permission to prosecute, one wrote. I thought pressing charges against family made me evil. Now I know it makes me smart. I funded 300 cases that first year. Legal fees, forensic audits, credit restoration. Everything needed to reclaim financial independence from family members who'd weaponized love. Nathan wrote after 3 years. I understand now what I took. Not just money, your peace, your trust. Your right to succeed without being punished for it. I don't expect forgiveness. Just wanted you to know I get it now. I kept the letter. Didn't respond. Maybe someday. My parents never wrote to me. Their prison counselor said they still believed children owed parents everything. They thought my success meant I should pay for their lifestyle. Some people never learn. 8 years after that birthday party, my company Cipher Analytics was bought for $3.2 billion. I kept 40%, stayed on as CTO, and used the money to grow my foundation to 30 countries. We helped 5,000 victims, changed laws in 18 states, created tools police use to catch family financial fraud. Every time I read a case, I remembered that ballroom. 80 guests watching my mother being arrested, surrounded by luxury she bought with my stolen money. The arrogance lasted until the handcuffs closed. Justice isn't always loud. Sometimes it's just consequences, arriving right on time. 10 years later I got a call. "Mr. Chin," the voice said. "This is Warden Phillips from Danbury Prison. Your mother has stage 4 cancer. 6 months to live. She wants to see you." I looked out my Singapore office window. 10 years had passed. Mom was 70 now, halfway through her sentence. "Will you come?" the warden asked. I thought about it. The woman who stole millions, who forged my name 47 times, but also the woman who taught me to read, who cheered for me when I wrote my first code at 12. "I'll think about it," I said. 3 days later I flew to Connecticut. The visit lasted 20 minutes. Mom looked small, weak in her prison uniform. "I'm dying," she said softly. I wanted to say I'm sorry. Not for being caught, for doing it. For choosing money over you. "Why?" I asked. "Wasn't the $1.26 million I gave you enough?" She looked down. "I was addicted," she said. "Not to drugs, to the lifestyle, to impressing friends. Once I started, I couldn't stop." "You stole $4.7 million, I said quietly. "You almost destroyed my company." "I know." Tears ran down her face. "I was proud of you and jealous. You did what I never could. So I took from you to feel powerful. That was wrong." We sat in silence. "I don't forgive you," I said. "Not yet. Maybe not ever. But I'm glad you understand." "That's more than I deserve," she whispered. I left without looking back. She died 4 months later. I paid for a simple funeral. I went alone. I said nothing. But I paid. Because I still remembered the mother she was before greed took her. 2 years later Nathan was released. He works in construction now. Lives in a small apartment. Takes financial literacy classes. We meet for coffee twice a year. Neutral places. We split the bill. No talk about money. It's not forgiveness. It's not reconciliation. It's just proof people can change. Even if the damage stays. Dad is still in prison. No letters. No requests. Maybe silence is his way of saying sorry. The foundation keeps growing. We've helped 8,000 victims. Changed laws in 32 states. Built a global movement showing that family financial abuse is a real crime, not a personal failure. And every time I sign a grant, I remember that birthday party. Mom saying my money was hers. Music playing, glasses clinking. Until reality walked in wearing handcuffs. Sometimes the best gift you can give yourself is one no one can steal. Boundaries. Consequences. Freedom.